Hello, welcome to Citizen McCain. It's Monday, November 24th. We are inching just a few days away from Thanksgiving. I'm so excited. This is our last show before Thanksgiving. We're just not doing a Wednesday show. We'll be back next week,
Well, we have a
giving
show. It's
everybody.
just not live. It's
I'm
one of
sorry,
our
we will
favorite
have a
shows
show.
ever. So if you want something,
We're having one of our favorite shows that we're gonna re-air, right? But you
yes,
guys probably haven't seen it because it's from like old school times. So there will be something to watch if you're like at your
you've
mom's
probably never
house and you
seen it, so
wanna.
it's worth watching if you're bored and you want to catch something. It's a great interview. It's really fun.
Yes, we just won't have a live show.
Yeah,
So whatever,
tune
but
in.
feel free to watch. Yes. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. Really quick, I read this tweet from Laura Loomer of all people, and she had this great idea where she said, pay for groceries for someone. You can either do it like, through a food bank or, I know that people can do like layaways. You can pay off people's layaways like at places like Walmart and Target. Or just like if you know of any family like at your church or in your community, that paying for groceries for a week can really help ease the pain of, the economic hardship so many people are going through. I myself like to donate to food banks. I just did it. I personally like St. Mary's Food Bank in Phoenix. That's always my go-to. And obviously, we know some of you can't afford to pay for other people's groceries and can't afford to donate. So we don't include you in that. But if you
Mhm.
can, I just think even small, even like a $5 donation or giving someone like, a pie or whatever can ease up. And this is the season for giving thanks and reflecting on all our blessings. And there's just
And
so many people. Yeah, go ahead.
check with your local elementary school because my daughter's school is doing a thing where you can adopt a family. So where we live,
Nice.
there's a lot of low income families in the neighborhood, and they're doing adopt a family so you can help with their Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever Hanukkah holiday meals, and or presents. So to make
Yeah,
sure
that's
every
nice.
kid has a present for the holidays. So even if you don't have a kid that goes to that school, everyone's got schools around, and just check in and see, are you guys doing an adopt a family or a toy drive or anything that you can help out with? It would really mean a lot to children who don't understand their parents'
Yeah.
economic situations. So, adopt a family. That's a big one that I love to help out with.
Yeah, just really nice. I think that's obviously a great idea as well. And, just a good reminder. Like I've just been thinking, Ben went grocery shopping yesterday and got a bunch of stuff for cooking Thanksgiving dinner. And we were just started talking about like how, blessed we are that we can just go to the grocery store and get all this stuff. And it's fine. There's so many people that just can't. So,
Yeah.
it's I don't know. I was listening to this podcast this morning where they were talking about just how the economy is still just hot garbage and it's really not getting better for a lot of people. And I just feel like basically since COVID, we haven't really rebounded the way that I think everyone hoped we would. And anyway, that's just completely off topic, but I wanted to say that. Is there anything you want to say, Miranda, before about Thanksgiving or just going into this week? I love Thanksgiving because it's just a holiday where you just have to eat. You don't know obligations for presents and
Exactly. Yeah, you
yeah.
stole the words right out of my mouth. I love a holiday where you can just show up as yourself. Everyone's like gathering together. You see family you don't normally get to see throughout the year. Like I'll get to see some aunts and uncles that live up north. They live in Northern California. We only see them a few times a year. The girls are very excited to see their little cousins. And you don't have to bring presents. You just, maybe bring a pie.
Mhm.
And you just get to sit and eat, watch football, and just chill out and have conversations, maybe drink some wine and hang out and watch a movie. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's going to be the
And
go-to.
Streets and Automobiles is so good.
It's a
Like
great Thanksgiving movie. I think that's why they don't make them because they only made the
it's so
perfect one.
good. I know it is a perfect movie. I just
It's a
watched it
perfect
a
movie.
few weeks ago. And Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, and then
Mhm.
this is one for my older millennials, Son-in-Law, the Pauly
Oh my
Shore
God, Polly
Thanksgiving
Shore's
movie.
Son-in-Law's excellent Thanksgiving
Fantastic.
movie.
My friend Sarah, who's been on the show, we were texting about how we have to watch Son-in-Law coming up because it's so good. Pauly Shore
So
forever. I'm
great.
here for his comeback. I love Pauly Shore.
Love Polly Shore.
But
And if
such a
you
good.
haven't seen it, Eli Roth did a Thanksgiving horror movie. I think it came out
Oh.
last year or the year before, and I recommend it. It's terrible, but it's also great because it's so silly and ridiculous. It's like Thanksgiving parade, and the hot teenagers are getting picked off one by one, and it's fantastic. So watch that if your children are not around because that's a fun one. Thanksgiving horror slasher movie. Love it. It's great.
Yes, then obviously the Thanksgiving Day parade, which I am really looking forward to.
There's going to be a
Watching people,
K-pop Demon Hunters balloon
your girls are
and
gonna go
a
crazy.
Labubu balloon. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see the new balloons. Yes, I love it.
Two things on the Thanksgiving Day parade, then we'll move on to our hot topics coming up and our guest. When I was working at Newsweek magazine, 10 at the beginning of the ice age of time when I was in college, I remember one of the stories that we covered was about a woman who was hit by a stray balloon, like a Macy's Day Parade balloon, that got loose. I think it was a Snoopy one, but I don't remember. And she was actually in a coma. It's
Oh
not
God.
funny, obviously. I think she's since been okay. Ashley's looking it up. But I always think like the Macy's Day Parade's also kind of dangerous. Like accidents have happened and
How does the
like
balloon get
those
loose? Oh my
balloons. I forget what happened. Also, if you go on YouTube, there's a one of like a Spider-Man that's not that like they let the strings go and they're like don't have it under control. And I just always remember that on Thanksgiving that like, oh, and then like the really bad lip syncing. Like I always love
Yes.
the really bad lip sync songs and Mariah Carey just being royally pissed off
She does
doing
like
it. Like
the least amount possible,
give
but it's
less.
Mariah, so you just
She can
you
just
gotta
come
love
in a
it.
sparkly gown and sit
Just
down and I'm
stand
fine.
there. Yeah,
I'd
just
be happy to have
sit in a
her.
chair.
Yes.
We just want to look at her. It's just, oh my gosh, it's Mariah. There she
Queen
is.
of Princess. Did you
But
look up the
you think of
lady?
all like
Actually,
the baton
real.
twirlers that like come in from Oklahoma and this is like their big moment. It's like
Yeah.
you get so excited for them. It's so fun. And I love it when it's like pouring rain and they just have to go through with a big smile on their face. I feel so it's
I
just
also love when they're
so
like
tragic.
last year, I remember Cole Escola, who's the guy who was
I
in
love him.
Hail Mary. Yeah, he's so
Yes.
funny. And or Oh Mary, excuse me, the Broadway
Mhm.
plays a comedian and actor. And he had one where he was like riding an ostrich, like, and it was like sponsored by like Colgate. And I'm like, this is what I'm here for, is like him riding an ostrich sponsored by Colgate toothpaste. So
That's so
really looking forward to
random. Yeah.
that as
I love
well.
Cole.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
he's so
So
funny.
happy Thanksgiving to you all. I love Thanksgiving. And like we said, give if you can, even if it's a little bit. Try to donate food, do whatever you can. And if you can't, just enjoy what you can. And enjoy the really bad lip syncing coming up on the Macy's Day Parade.
Can't wait.
Really quick before our guest gets here, this is an article and a story that has like really been bothering Miranda and I for like, I'd say over a week. But the Free Press actually wrote an article about Wicked. The new Wicked for Good movie did very well over the weekend. It was #1 at the box office. It earned 150 million domestically, 226 million worldwide. That is a lot,
Hmm.
especially given like how shitty, as we've talked about on the show, the box office has been this past year. It far outpaced its predecessor, Wicked, which opened with the 114 million domestically last pre-Thanksgiving Day weekend. But the Free Press has an article talking about in Wicked, there's a very thin elephant in the room talking about the lead actresses, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. I think we have a picture, #1, before and after, of what their appearance looks like. Um,
Ugh.
Noticeably skinnier. I would say she looks very unhealthy to me, noticeably skinnier. She looks very unhealthy to me. And I think there's a picture of Michelle Yeoh as well, who's also in, these are all stunningly beautiful women, but they look very sick. And then the Babylon Bee had a picture over the weekend of, or a joke that was like, starving African children donate to feed Ariana Grande.
Oh
So
my
like this is
goodness.
something, I know this is something that's being talked about in the zeitgeist. And then on top of that, on top of their like extreme noticeable weight loss, is there Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande's extremely bizarre behavior in interviews.
Hmm.
We have a few clips we want to play for you to show you an example. #2, please.
Not the time, helicopter! Go! Hey!
Today we get to do popular. Can you believe that we're doing popular? It's gonna be so great. That joy he wanted to infuse in every frame. Here is the film with all the
Even through this press tour, something's bothering her. She's gonna fix something. I know. She's getting the fixing itch that Cynthia Erivo gets.
It's not there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because the thing is,
Biggest pinch me moment for each of you on the set? Was it a day you arrived on the set or some special moment that happened during the filming of this for each of you? What was the biggest pinch me?
Okay, so really quickly, our first guest has just arrived a little early, which is great because I want her to jump in on this topic. So really quickly, we have Christine Rosen, who is a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, a columnist and a podcaster for Commentary Magazine. And she is not on social media because she hates it. Thank you so much
Smart.
for coming
She's
on.
smart. Yes.
Yes.
Well, I'm very
Christine,
happy to be
so
here.
happy to see you. I'm so happy to see you. Yeah, you're too cool for social media. It's actually,
Yes.
I think it's very chic not to be on social media. I think it's like,
You know, it was entirely self-preservation because when Twitter first arrived on the scene, I realized it would be a whole lot of fun and I'd probably get fired if I used it. So I just banned myself before that could happen.
respectfully, if J-Pod and Abe haven't been fired for some of their tweets, then I don't know if you can get fired
I
anymore.
might have been too conscientious, but I'm sticking to my guns.
Yes.
Smart.
We really quickly, you just came in. We wanted to include you in this topic. We were going to talk about it first, but Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are getting a lot of attention for their appearance because of how skinny they are. And they look, I don't normally comment on women's bodies, but I think we all collectively as a society can say that like they have a noticeable weight loss that doesn't look healthy at all. So much so that one of my producers was hesitant to bring her daughters to go to the movie because she was like, I just don't know how I feel about this glamorization of this like kind of a body type. And then they're just, I'm sorry, insane behavior in interviews. I am personally friends with both of you in real life. I love both of you in real life. I'm not touching your body and crying and having like some kind of weird emotional breakdown when helicopters fly over. Christine, just start with you. Like, are you as put on? It's so weird. I feel like we're not talking about how weird this is enough.
Well, there are two things that really bother me. Their frail appearance. So even regardless of what their actual weight is, it's that they both look really frail. They look breakable. And I was thinking back, I mean, I'm old enough to remember like heroin chic and all these sort of different body image styles that were foisted on women. And we were told we had to be super skinny. Then we were told every size body is beautiful. Then you had to be strong. I'm actually in the women should try to be strong. Like we should be lifting weights and trying to build muscle, especially as we age. And I sound like a menopause influencer or something. I'm not trying to be that, but that I was struck when a friend sent me just how much their bodies have changed from when they first started filming the movie. So there's clearly a lot of pressure on them to look a certain way. And it's not just them. Other women in the film series seem also to have become quite frail. And it's worrisome because that's not a healthy body style, but it's also one that as you age is not going to be good for you as a woman because they look like they have barely any muscle on their frames. The weird obsessive compulsive weird pseudo grooming that they do with each other, I don't understand that at all. There's clearly they must be very close because there's no physical boundary there when they're being interviewed, and I wonder if that's actually a power dynamic thing they're doing where they can make the interviewer feel uncomfortable, but they forget that as audience members, we're having secondhand embarrassment the whole time while we watch them.
Yeah. Miranda?
It seems very one-sided. It's more Cynthia grabbing onto Ariana. And I don't know if that's because maybe, you know, when this all started, Ariana was, you know, the bigger star. A lot of people knew Cynthia through Broadway and all of that, but Ariana, international mega super pop star actor since she was a child and all that. So maybe it was like her way of making sure she also got into the photos and got more attention. And now it's just, they're very codependent with each other because they've spent 5 years or so making this movie, and it's like, you know, being in the trenches with each other. But what's interesting is in my research of finding some of these clips for this is they are so bizarrely attached to each other. It's like Cynthia acts like a mother to Ariana. She's fixing her hair, fixing her
Stage
necklace.
mother.
Exactly. And she has her own stage mother. She's got one who's always following her around. But weirdly, her mom's not been at any of these premieres because she's got Cynthia as like her nanny, basically, like fixing her dresses. And she does. And Ariana, like you said, Christine, she does look like she could break. Like she's like this porcelain doll. She could just fall apart at any time. I'm concerned because, as we all know, we've all been photographed at events and video taken. You look bigger in pictures and in videos. So how tiny are they in real life?
Yeah.
Because you look even smaller and more skeletal.
Well, I love Cynthia Erivo, like as a singer.
They're
Like
incredible performers, incredible actors, powerhouses.
yeah, I saw a stage performance of her recently singing Nina Simone's Feeling Good, which is my personal favorite song. And it was just, that's a hard song to sing and it's a hard song to cover. And she is incredible. So like, they're extremely talented, but it also brings in the bigger conversation that I think people are quietly having, but now we're going to have it more. When you see people like Meghan Trainor and even Michelle Obama's looking real skinny lately. We actually have a video I can show you of her at a Annie Leibovitz photo shoot. Like it's I don't know what these women are doing, even though I believe Meghan Trainor has admitted that she's on Ozempic. Amy Schumer recently, pictures of her looking extremely thin. Ozempic, semaglutide, I don't know how to, I'm not on them clearly. Semaglutide, it's in. I was joking with my husband a few days ago that like it's now weirder if I don't know someone on it. Although, not to out you guys, I don't believe either of you are on it. I don't think anyone. Never mind. No one that works on my show's on it.
If I were on it, it's definitely not working. So there's that.
But like, what is it now? I feel like I agree with you. Like, I remember heroin chic too when I was much younger. Like, I'm actually really worried about this trend because I agree with you. You don't look great. Like, I know people who are on it that like they look skinny, but they do not look healthy. Like, I would say that, and I've said that to their face. That's one friend in particular. Are you concerned about this? Like, the anorexic chic look coming back into fashion?
I mean, I am, because again, I go back to what's best for women in general. Women's bodies need certain nutrients and need certain things as we age. And, look, those of us who have children, there's all kinds of physical demands on your body. And then afterwards, how that changes it. All of these things should be our major concerns, not our appearance. I wonder if a little bit of this is the pendulum swinging back away from the more radical body acceptance, body positivity movement of the last 5 years, where people who were clinically obese were being celebrated as healthy when clearly that's not healthy either. So, I mean, ideally, I want to be hopeful and say we'll come to some equilibrium. These drugs, the glop, whatever they are extremely helpful for people who have had no other means of losing weight to get to a healthy weight, if they're extremely obese. And they help people with blood sugar issues. I mean, they do seem to be extremely promising drugs for lots of people, and that's great. But I think when we look at people in the public eye, and we look at celebrities in particular, it does seem like the new normal is shrinking. I would say it's shrinking, or it's, if you're older, you're supposed to look like Kris Jenner. I'm in my 50s, so I'm sort of trapped between both of these. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Just want to age normally and live in the body that you have and be accepting and tolerant of, the shifts that happen, particularly for women throughout the course of your life.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't want to shame anyone because there's a lot of pressure on women everywhere, but I'm really saddened and like sort of I agree with you. Like, I don't think glamorizing obesity was healthy either for all the obvious reasons, but we're in a very, it's just, I don't know, everybody's so skinny. Everyone's so skinny everywhere. It's like so, and
Do you want me to put on my tinfoil cuckoo crazy hat for a second?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So maybe all of this Ozempic and Mounjaro and GLP-1s and whatever are preparing us, and the rising cost of food and the economy and all that stuff.
Oh,
so
God.
maybe it's preparing us for everybody to eat less because we won't be able to afford it. And it's just food scarcity preparation. And
I'm gonna say
that's my crazy
that's
conspiracy.
horrible. I hope that's not true. I'm going to say one thing really quickly.
They're saying always put the hat on. Yes. Okay. All right.
Always put a tinfoil hat on.
I will always put on my crazy hat on. That's my red line connection I'm putting there.
I'm going to say one thing to you both. And Christine, you don't know this, but Miranda is a cancer survivor.
Yes.
If you have ever close to anyone who's gone through cancer or died of cancer, my dad died of cancer, and you see what cancer does to your body, I never want to look sick. I never want to look skinny. It's like actually kind of a trigger for me. Like, I don't want to look like I'm sick because I'm so grateful, not gonna to be healthy. And so like, there's something about it also that I'm like, that's why I don't want to go on Ozempic. I mean, I'm pregnant right now, but like afterward, because I'm just like, I just don't want to look like I'm like something's really wrong with my body. So I think that's why I feel bad for Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande too, because like they look sick to me. They don't look healthy.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm with you.
Anyway, we have a very special treat for you, Christine. We have an advertiser. We have real live advertisers now since you've come on last time, which is very exciting. I know. This is one we actually really love genuinely. So Cozy Earth has been so wonderful to partner with us. And they're a company that does pajamas, bedding, body butter, candles. And legitimately, I'm not just saying this. They sent me these sheets that are the greatest sheets. I'm not exaggerating. You guys might do Cozy Earth on your podcast too, I'm not sure. And it is the greatest sheets I've ever had in my entire life. They're like so soft and so literally cozy. I know that's cliche. And I, with all the like Black Friday sales and everything, I'm so overwhelmed trying to shop legitimately. I have like a million brothers and sisters and cousins and in-laws, and Ben has a million brothers and sisters. Both have huge families. It's very stressful to figure out what to buy. Get these sheets and the bedding and the pajamas. And Cozy Earth, why are they different than other presents? Because they have quality and comfort. And we have a 100-night sleep trial. If you don't love the sheets, you can return them, and a 10-year warranty, although you would never return them. And we actually have a promo code for you guys. Black Friday has come early. I love Black Friday. I really
Love
do.
Black Friday.
I know. And right now you can stack my code McCain on top of their site-wide sale, giving you up to 40% off in savings. These deals won't last. So start your holiday shopping today. And if you get a post-purchase survey, be sure to mention that you heard about Cozy Earth, right here at Citizen McCain. Christine, I'm telling you, get those sheets.
I mean, I love
this
last time
that
how
you
I
could
was
wear
going crazy about the bath sheets and the towels and all that stuff. And I was going nuts about the towels and how fabulous they are. Emily, our listener, bought them and says they are the best towels she's ever owned in her life. So
Go ahead, Christine.
also get the towels, please.
Thank you.
I just like the idea of wearing, like, if the material is the same for the pajamas and the sheets, you can like cocoon yourself completely and put body butter on beforehand and just not wake up for.
It's
like
that
going to the spa.
Too.
Right.
Do you know that tea? There's like a tea brand that has like, it's like the bear. It's like
Sleepy
sitting in
Time.
this
Cozy
chair.
Time,
Yes.
yeah.
I saw a meme and it was like me from here until January. And I was like, that is neat. Just like sitting in my
The bear in the robe with the sleeping cap. Yes, exactly.
Yes. And my personal favorite thing is going out in public in clothes that like feel like pajamas but are socially acceptable as not being pajamas. So that's my personal style right now. Anyway, thank you, Cozy Earth. We're so excited, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Get on that Black Friday sale. Christine, I have to ask you about a little of the political batshit hellscape that's consuming our country right now.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Which
Yes.
part,
Happy
Meghan?
Thanksgiving, everybody. I know. So Marjorie Taylor Greene stepped down from Congress on Friday. Friday night news dump, which is a weird time to like do that, by the way.
That was a fun text chain, by the way. Yeah.
Yes. So less than a week after President Trump withdrew his support for her, she announced on Friday that she's resigning from Congress. We're going to play the video for you. Number 3, please.
When common American people realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart, that not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually destroying our country, and instead the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington, then I'll be here by their side to rebuild it. Until then, I'm going back to the people that I love, to live my life to the fullest as I always have, and I look forward to a new path ahead. I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026, and I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future. May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
Okay, so she has split with Trump and the Republican Party over what she has described as Israel's actions in Gaza being a genocide against Palestinians. She's criticized Republican leadership over the recent government shutdown. And then obviously the Epstein files, she's been like a big person. They need to expose the Epstein files. She also said on Sunday that it has no intention of running for president. And she got mad at Time Magazine for reporting that she does. I call a big bunch of bullshit on her saying she's not running for president. Give me a break, lady. What do you make of all this? I was actually surprised when she announced she was stepping away from Congress.
So I think I'm in the minority here. I was not surprised because she strikes me as someone who's been on the trajectory to transition into influencer, podcaster, wackadoodle, right-wing entertainment space for a while. And it hasn't, from the minute she started babbling about Jewish space lasers, I thought, what? She's unfortunately an example of what a good portion of our politics has become, which is using an institution like Congress as a platform for their own self-branding and their own self-promotion. So she doesn't actually have to have values she sticks with. The fact that she was totally pro-Trump and then turned on Trump, and her excuses for why she was battling Trump made no sense either. They were completely inconsistent with what she claimed her views are. and then like flirting with the idea of running for governor. She's just trying to find a brand and stick with it and then monetize it. And I was not surprised at all to see her leave. She did nothing legislatively when she was in Congress. She didn't build useful coalitions. She was not a successful legislator. And she would be hard to win statewide office, I think, at a place like Georgia. She's best in the kind of crazy conspiracy swamp that is unfortunately growing on the right. She'll find a place there. Maybe she'll be Candace Owens' substitute, and they can both rail about, conspiracy theories. But I wasn't surprised. I also, quite frankly, I'm not unhappy to see her leave because she didn't really contribute much to the institution.
Yeah, what's so weird about her is that it's like one of those people, like kind of like Lauren Boebert, or like Jasmine Crockett, who, by the way, a special shout out to Jasmine Crockett for saying that my dad and Mitt Romney and a bunch of people had donations from Jeffrey Epstein, and it ended up being a different Jeffrey Epstein, a Dr. Jeffrey Epstein from Long Island, who is not the same Jeffrey Epstein as the pedophile freak idiot. My Twitter exploded when that happened, and because obviously it's like the most ridiculous thing ever. She went on the floor of Congress saying that a bunch of people, including my family, took money from Jeffrey Epstein, but it's a different man named Jeffrey, which, by the way, it sucks for that guy.
That poor man. Sorry to that man. Yeah.
Sorry, I mean, somebody tweeted me that thing from Office Space and it was like, it wasn't even the right lumber. That's what I felt about it. But
he owes you a personal apology. That's bullshit. My God.
Oh my God. I was so mad, but I whatever. She has mashed potatoes for her brains. It's fine. But I have to ask you, like, in regards of Marjorie Taylor Greene, like, I agree with you. There's like these members of Congress that they're not there to govern. They're there to go on cable news. They're there to get clicks. But the thing that I'm most concerned about is like not just tinfoil hat, but like the conspiracy theory, Israel's running everything and is trying to murder all of us, is really hitting a fever pitch. And it's not just like people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, although I don't believe she said anything like that, but she hates Israel clearly. Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, like this like vein of the party, they're very powerful. They have a shit ton of followers and people down, way more than I could ever dream of having. So like put that there. And they seem to have a lot of influence. How concerned are you, not just with her joining that, but just like, I feel like our side's losing the narrative battle a little bit.
Well, there's definitely an information war going on, although over the weekend was this interesting revelation when X posted the location of a lot of these accounts.
Yes.
And a lot of the America First accounts aren't based in America. And
delicious.
We've known, yeah.
Wait, can you explain for people that don't understand that? Because that was my favorite thing this weekend.
So
we've been railing on this for over a year, and people thought we were crazy. So yes, please go.
Yes. No, so this is it didn't used to show the country that you were located in on X, and so they were testing this new feature where it showed where you're located. Now these, of course, are people too stupid to use virtual private networks, so they're already at a level of technical sophistication. It's not that great. But what it revealed, and what we've known, actually this started with, after the Black Lives Matter riots and everything, we've known that people hostile to both nation states and individuals hostile to the United States and to Western values have run classic campaigns to lead to turmoil and conflict within the United States, exacerbating racial tensions, exacerbating class tensions, exacerbating political tensions, and now more recently, post-October 7th, exacerbating all the encouraging anger and mistrust of the state of Israel, who is our most important ally in the Middle East. So these accounts, which have been spewing all kinds of anti-Semitic nonsense and that make people like Carlos Fuentes and Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens look like they have a lot of followers. They might, but a lot of them are based in Poland or in Nigeria or in all kinds of Qatar and all kinds of places scattered around the Middle East. They're not Americans. Russia, obviously. Mm-hmm. So this actually should be slightly reassuring if we're smart enough to recognize that what happens on these social media feeds and on platforms like TikTok and whatnot is an effort to destabilize our own country, and it comes from people who have who want to see this country fail, who want to see democracy fail. Has nothing to do with values and beliefs or even politics. It's just a destabilization campaign, and we should resist it.
Mm-hmm. No, and what I want to say, just like a few examples. There's one called MAGA Nation X, which included a bio that said Patriot Voice for We the People. It's actually based in Eastern Europe. Another account was an image of Donald Trump in a tuxedo, and the name was MAGA Scope with an American flag emoji, and it was started in Nigeria. There was a bunch from Bangladesh and Pakistan, and we're talking like big MAGA America pro America accounts.
Tons of followers, huge MAGA influencers, just sowing division, sowing hate, sowing misogyny, very anti-progressive, just like hate anybody who doesn't vote for Trump, who's anti-MAGA, like that kind of stuff.
And they're making money doing it.
And
that's another
violence.
motivation.
Yeah.
Yes, they're monetizing that hate.
Is that, I was trying to figure out, like, if you're just a man in Bangladesh or woman, whatever, like, why do you want to be involved in our political process in this way on social media? Is it just a money thing? Like, is it a way for people to like hate Israel? Like, I'm so confused.
They hate America.
Like this all the time. Yeah, and hate America.
And they want us fighting with each other so that they can, for whatever reason, get involved in taking over our spaces.
Yeah, it was highly entertaining though to see so many things, like so many people. There was one in particular that was like is always fighting with everyone. The emoji was a gummy bear and I don't remember it, and it was like same thing, like based out of Pakistan. You're like, what is happening?
Well, the other ones that are disturbing were ones that claim to be first-hand observers in Gaza during the war, who were then often quoted by mainstream media outlets uncritically, and they too lived overseas and had never been to the Middle East at all, evidently. So they were just lying through their teeth, but they were selling a narrative that a lot of mainstream media outlets wanted to buy, and they did. So they would quote, anonymous person in Gaza who witnessed firsthand this, that, and the other. None of it was true. But again, it once that leaks into a mainstream outlet, then people start citing that as fact, and it's very difficult to debunk these things in real time because it's like a fire hose of information.
Yeah, there was some journalist he claimed that he was like Gaza based. He was in Poland. So like, and again, I think he actually deleted his account, but I love that feature. Never get rid of that feature. I want to know who the bots are from other countries. I want to know who's trying to swindle all of us into believing weird shit online. Christine, do you care about AOC wanting to run for president at all in this new clip of her? Or do you want to talk about Kash Patel's girlfriend? Both are very juicy.
I'd rather talk about, I probably have stronger opinions about AOC than Kash Patel's. I have strong opinions about Kash Patel and how he's running the FBI. But no, the AOC clip, let's see that one.
We got time
Number
for
7,
both.
please.
Yep.
Yes, we do. Number 7.
Starting our day out by Castle Hill in the Bronx. We're doing turkey distributions all day. We're starting in Castle Hill. Later we'll be in Throgs Neck. We got halal turkeys in Throgs Neck. And then we'll be in East Elmhurst, Queens with First Baptist and Rev Young. I want to talk to you all about all the contributions you've made. We have been able to provide over, 1,600 turkeys? 1,600 turkeys in the Bronx. And then all of your support and fundraising has raised an additional $20,000 above our raise goal, which we are giving 100% to local food pantries to help feed families this Thanksgiving. So taking you all with me, we're breaking down some boxes, as you can see right there, and we are loading trucks. So let's go.
Because that's actually very nice for her to do at Thanksgiving. I'm not going to like...
Okay, but I have a critique nonetheless. Yes, look, we should all donate our time and money and energy to helping people who are less fortunate, especially at Thanksgiving. Very important time to do that. I think what would be better for AOC's, let's just talk about her own constituents, whom she has not served well while being a member of Congress. Maybe they wouldn't have to go to a food pantry if her democratic socialist policies didn't have an absolute bottleneck on certain parts of New York. And I was really struck because someone sent me some of her stuff about, is she going to run? Is she going to challenge Schumer? What's her future look like? She's 36 years old, I believe. And I was thinking, okay, so who else from her sort of generation would I look to and say and compare her to? And I have recently I heard Elise Stefanik, who's challenging Kathy Hochul for the governorship of New York. I heard her speak. She's about 5 years older than AOC. She's been in Congress a little bit longer, but she was elected from New York, not a really strong Republican state, but from upstate New York. And, she won a tough race. She very quickly rose in the leadership of the Republican Party in the House. She was on in the Republican conference, the 4th highest person in the conference at one point. And she infamously, to many of us who follow higher ed, absolutely annihilated the completely craven and incompetent university presidents from the Ivy League who were dragged before Congress to explain why their Jewish students were being harassed on campus last spring. So she's just good. She's good at politics. She's hard charging. She's gotten legislation passed. She knows what she's doing. She's a real political leader, and her message is often about the service that elected officials should provide. AOC talking about giving away free turkeys that other people have donated to her constituents. She's servicing her brand herself. And I've seen her do that very well on Instagram Reels, like she did in that clip, but also throughout her career, flying around on private jets to go yell about the billionaires with Bernie Sanders. That's great for her brand. All these things she does. You know what's not great for her constituents? That she successfully stopped Amazon from putting in a factory whose jobs would have actually been great for a lot of the people who live in her district. A lot of the stuff that she's done or supported with the Green New Deal, which was just a resolution that went nowhere, which is her most well-known piece of political activity in Congress. She hasn't really done much for her own constituents. So if she wants to run for president, I say go for it. I think a lot of her shallow politics will be exposed, her lack of experience, her lack of knowledge. She relies heavily on her staff when she's in committee hearings. She also doesn't show up a lot of the times to her committee assignments. So I don't think she's actually been a good public servant. And people in her district know this. And the American people, I think, have gotten over her little Instagram ingenue thing by this point. And so she'll actually have to put up or shut up. When I compare her to someone like Elise Stefanik, politics aside, just how they deal with the public and how they deal with their sense of service, she doesn't compare. She's not a grown-up in that sense.
Well, I wanted to ask you.
That was pretty harsh, but yeah, I mean, nice about the turkeys.
No, I agree with every single thing you said. And I'm actually, if you juxtapose it with, and again, I think Zohran Mamdani is an existential threat to New York City, and the state of New York. I cannot think less of his politics. Like he encompasses everything I don't believe in. Just put that out there. That being said, he's a very smart politician and he's very charming. And he seems to understand through his meeting with Trump last week that you can't just govern through Twitter and Instagram, which for whatever reason is a lesson AOC has not learned. And I actually thought, and the reason I compare them is they're both the most prominent socialists in America, and they're both from New York. I actually think that he looks a lot more, I don't know, not statesmanly, that's not really the right term, but he just looks a lot more official than she does.
It's more serious.
More serious, yes, because she's always screaming on social media and in her pajamas in her apartment, whatever. And his curation on social media is just a lot more elevated in a lot of different ways. And even when he's on the street and whatever, he still is I don't know. He looks like a politician to me. He doesn't look sometimes she just looks like she's in a college student. I remember one time she was doing an Instagram live when she was
walking
making
around in a beanie.
Yeah, she was making easy mac while she was doing it. And I was I don't fucking care. There should be some decorum. And I was wondering if this is in any way impacting her as well, because people keep saying, including, by the way, Laura Ingraham, she tweeted, AOC is positioning herself to run for president in 2028. Republicans, as you fight amongst yourselves, she's building the most powerful political operation we've seen since Obama. I don't disagree that she's probably going to run for president. It's just I'd love to see how this plays in Iowa and New Hampshire. And sure as hell love to see how it plays in South Carolina with Clyburn being the kingmaker there. I just think people are respectfully insulated that think this is going to be easy for her. What do you think of the comparison to Mamdani, Christine?
The curation point is spot on, because one thing he had to overcome the fact that he also had done very little professionally before he ran for mayor. And what you did know of him on social media was a failed rap career that was downright embarrassing. I mean, that's the clips I saw. I was sort of oh my goodness. I almost felt pity for him. And but I would say that his challenge is that he has more of the wolf in sheep's clothing problem. So he put on the suit, as Miranda said. He was styled very well for his campaign run. But now he has to govern. And so how he will do that, and we've already seen a little preview from what happened outside a synagogue in New York, where protesters, were preventing people from going into the synagogue to worship. That is a federal crime, and it is currently being looked into by Harmeet Dillon, thank goodness. But his response was to call it an international war, international crime, that people in Israel were meeting in or people in the synagogue were meeting there to learn how they might actually move to Israel. And he was not able to just say, houses of worship are sacred spaces and the entrance to them should never be blocked by any protest, or like you should not prevent someone from going into a house of worship. That's all he had to say, but he couldn't help himself. He had to get that in there. He had to attack Israel. He had to attack the Jews. And I think in a sense, he's going to really struggle with that because that is who he is. That's who he is. She's more malleable. Remember, she was created by people who recruited her. She was nominated. It was almost like a reality show as who could be a good, kind of young upstart. Netflix did a whole documentary about her and some other women who ran
about that.
bringing down the house. And she was the only one who won, but she was the least serious of the women candidates who ran. It's an interesting documentary to go back and revisit now. But she was a creation. She was a PR creation, a very successful one. And she stayed at that level. She has not moved or grown in office at all. He will be forced to move and grow in office because he actually has to govern a really polyglot, huge city. So his trip to go visit Trump was, I think, a sign that he understands that. I don't think he will be a very good mayor for the people of New York City, but at least he seems to, as Miranda said, like he's acting a little bit more like an adult than she ever has.
Were you surprised at how cozy Trump and Mamdani seemed in the Oval Office? I was a little surprised, but I thought it was pretty smart politics all the way around. Charles Gasparino wrote on Twitter that his meeting with Mamdani was arranged by a Trump-aligned New York business figure with ties to the mayor-elect's circle. Mamdani requested the sit down and Trump agreed under the condition not to push a left-wing agenda during the conversation. He also said that Mamdani is not personally hostile to Trump. But, I guess give it time, let's see what happens. I was a little surprised how cozy it is, but I do think it's pretty smart politics for them to play nice right now.
It is, and it is. I mean, it is. And Trump, that picture of him standing like the schoolboy in the vice principal's office next to Trump sitting at the Resolute desk, that was good branding for Trump. And look, we know two things about Trump. He loves to be flattered and he loves people to come into his office and, pay obeisance. That Mamdani did that. Mamdani requested the meeting, not the other way around. Second, he also changes his mind on a whim, and there's nothing to stop him tomorrow from sending the National Guard into New York and being like, well, I tried. Look, he came, I talked to him, it just didn't work out. And for Trump, that's good political cover for him too. And I think the fact, like what I said about he sent his Justice Department after the protesters in New York, that's a good thing too. So I look more at the actions of the administration than Trump and his, sort of whims and his narcissism needing to be fed and all that. Everyone knows that Trump has to be flattered. So Mamdani going there and flattering him made sense for both of them. But long term, it means nothing for Mamdani. Politically, Trump will be Trump.
Well, and also Trump likes winners. He likes people who are charismatic. The popular guy from the TV came to visit him, gave him a big smile. Everybody likes Mamdani right now that, is popular. So, and he wants to be liked in New York. Eventually, he is going to likely go back to New York at some point. And he wants to be with the popular crowd in New York. And right now, that's Mamdani. So ultimately, he wants to be the cool guy. And Mamdani is the cool guy in New York right now. So
he also... I agree with you, and you're right. Like he likes people who win elections, because I always think of him talking about how Carrie Lake is a literal loser because she lost, and like he hates people who lose. So
have you ever seen him look at anyone like that? I've never even seen him look at Ivanka like that, and that's his favorite child. Like he's never looked at anyone like that. He's smitten.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how this all plays out. You have two colleagues, at least on your podcast, Christine, who live in New York. Are they I don't think I could live in New York City under Mamdani. I think I would move. I know one person who is still a straggler left over who is moving because she's extremely worried about like violent crime increasing and all the things everyone else is worried about. But are any of your colleagues or friends concerned? Because, you live in DC, you see what poor, governance can do to a city.
Yeah, I think, Tish agreeing to stay on for now, the police commissioner, was at least a slightly hopeful sign for some people. But every person I know in New York City who is Jewish has been having conversations a lot about arming themselves, protecting themselves. But there's also, I think, a real these, New Yorkers. they're not going to leave either. They don't want to give up their city to some crazy socialist who hates the Jews. They're like, no, we're going to stay, and we're going to, you know, demand respect, and you can't do that to our city. So it'll be interesting to see. Again, it's all in how he governs and if he's capable of governing, because even the people who put him in office, even those like trust fund baristas in Brooklyn, if they can't walk from the subway to a club on a Friday night without getting mugged, even they will turn on him or move out. So I think that he, you know, his coalition is very fragile. It's not that he has no mandate. This was not an overwhelming, you know, vote for him. He was extremely blessed in who he was running against and the fact that it was a three-way race. So we'll see how he does. But crime and the economy, the affordability stuff he's promised, he can't deliver with the policies he claims he's going to enact. Rent freezes will make the housing issue in New York much worse, not better. Free buses are just going to create chaos and become basically roving homeless shelters. And regular people who need to use the bus will not use it or be able to. So I think that all those tensions are what I hear from my friends. And I have a lot of respect for the ones who are like, he can't force me out of my city, because that's such a New Yorker vibe. I love that about New Yorkers, like especially the ones born and raised there. So we'll see. Crime and the economy are going to be what make people leave, or if they improve, stay.
I know. I always thought the free buses, Portland came out with like this, like these statements that were like, we tried it here and it was a disaster. And if Portland's like, it doesn't work here, you know, because I think Portland is like one of the most, you know, progressive cities on the planet. And they're like, don't do this. It's a bad idea. And government run grocery stores. Has anyone been to the DMV? It's horrific. Government run anything. Can you imagine the kind of produce that'd be to government? And that's why I'm like, these, like you said, like hipster trust fund kids who go to Whole Foods every day. You want a government run grocery store?
Well, they won't be the ones going. No, so this is the thing. They are insulated by their wealth and privilege from the consequences of Mamdani's policies, and they always will be. But there are more. It's the middle class and working class New Yorkers who want to stay in the city who will suffer the most, and they're the ones who he's going to have to speak to them.
The only place I've heard of like the free buses working, it was either Iowa or Nebraska. Like, and they've had it going for 3 years. It's those kinds of places where it works.
But I mean, respectful to Nebraska.
Exactly.
Which I personally like Nebraska, but like this population size. By the way, I just read that the #1 place in America, if you want to pay rent for less than $1,000, is Wichita, Kansas. So there you guys go. If you want to, shout out to our friends in Wichita.
I have family that lives there, and big pass, but thank you.
There's like tornado issues.
Lovely.
Christine, one of the things I wanted to ask you about was just the internal civil war in the party, the MAGA split. It's over Israel, but it's also over a lot of other things. And one of the things that we have been like trying to have a sense of humor about is the fact that like the other side, and I mean the like anti-Israel conspiratorial side, who just call us globalists for like giving a shit about what's going on in the world. Like I never understood that either. Like I'm not like a turtle that's gonna like hide in a shell about what's going on globally, but they like throw all these grenades at all of us, and they're like, you're part of the venomous coalition, to quote Tucker Carlson. Venom right here, the three of us, clearly, and throw all these grenades and then start bitching and crying like toddlers about the infighting in the party, when everyone's just sitting here doing our jobs and having a different opinion. But this like histrionic baby, like so precious, so like snowflake behavior, like you think we're all just gonna sit down and not and like accept this and be like, Nick Fuentes is a great dude and we should like platform him everywhere? Like fuck off, everybody. So I just want to know how it's been for you, because you're too respectfully part of the venomous, disgusting,
proudly
pro-Israel,
venomous, yes,
non-isolationist.
Gonna get that like tattooed on my bicep, you know.
We should get sweatshirts that say venomous coalition. Yes. Everyone.
Well, it's interesting because the battle isn't just about the no enemies to the right. This idea, as you say, that, you know, people who punch you in the face and then you go to defend yourself say, you can't hit me, I'll be the victim. Yeah. It's like, no, that's not how it works. We will defend ourselves. And also what we're struggling for aren't just ideas. These are real institutions that matter in the conservative movement. And the conservative movement has always been a coalition. I think of it as like a really cool preschool where the kids are given a little bit of freedom, a little bit of free range, but there's a pretty strong administrator overseeing it all. And the Republican coalition has allowed for a pretty big tent. I fight with my libertarian colleagues on big tech stuff all the time. Foreign policy things are always in the mix, but that is healthy. That kind of churn has long been healthy, and it's been disappearing. And when people complain about the cult of personality around Trump, I acknowledge their point, but he is actually a symptom of a larger struggle, which is a conservative movement that wants to become more authoritarian in the sense of keeping out anyone who doesn't agree with a whole set of principles. So you have the NatCons and the isolationists all wanting one thing. You have like trad Catholics now wanting to like take us back to a supposedly better era. Very few of those.
The paleocon
the Buchananites have reemerged and said, oh, the neocons ruined everything. So all of these factions are battling. And if you're a conservative, you should welcome that intellectual jousting. And I think what happened at the Heritage Institute, one of the biggest conservative institutions of long standing, when they brought in Kevin Roberts and he really changed the tone of that place, it was no longer about scholarship and research and sort of the conservative battle of ideas. It was, we believe this, and if you don't believe this, out the door you go. That's not intellectual rigor. That's just falling into line and discipline. And this idea that we should never have enemies to our right is exactly what led to the absolute chaos on the left right now. It's what led to all the DEI stuff, the woke stuff, the cancellations. We are doing a version of that, which doesn't mean we shouldn't call out the groypers and fight with them. We should actually fight more. We should have clear moral lines. If someone says proudly they're a Nazi, they don't belong in the conservative movement. I can say that with no problem and try to cancel me. I happen to work for one of the few conservative institutions that absolutely allows me the freedom to have my own opinion and express it.
You're not getting canceled.
So no, but the thing is, like, if I did get canceled for that, I would proudly wear that as a badge of honor. And I think that's where this younger generation doesn't know its history. It doesn't know its own conservative policy history, its ideas history. It doesn't know basic world history. So and they're fed this kind of weird narrative that tends to want to excommunicate people who no longer believe what they believe now. And so that reemergence of the Buchananite isolationist group, for whom J.D. Vance is their future savior, I would say, like they're pinning a lot of hopes on him, and he's remaining cagey on some of it, but not enough, in my opinion. And he's welcomed anti-Semites onto his staff, into the administration. And I every time I see a story about it, I call it out. But that battle is real, and we do have to draw strong red lines, because the left didn't do that. And they ended up with people murdering people and justifying that violence because they disagreed with them. And we don't want to get anywhere near that kind of trajectory, I would argue.
Can I tell you what I'm not going to do too? And I know you're not going to do it either, which, by the way, I hope you saw Tucker Carlson completely throwing Kevin Roberts under the bus. And like, he was like, he's a coward and he didn't handle it well. And
he's a failure. He's a coward. Yeah.
Yeah. I just
typical Tucker.
Him. Oh God. Anyway, but what I am not going to do is have people like the three of us and all the people that we know in our coalition, although Miranda's an independent, but no one cares. Like you are not pro-Nazi. No. We are not going to be treated the way we're being treated right now. Talked about like, I am worse than a terrorist. Another direct quote that people like Ted Cruz and Christine and I are worse than terrorists. Crapped all over. And then come game time in the midterms. And you need us. You need me, you need Christine, you need all of us and the people we represent and all the center-right people that come with us and all the people who go to church and think Israel's fine and don't think neo-Nazism or getting married to someone who's not of your race is a bad thing at all. Like all the normies, because you need us, particularly, by the way, the moms, the three of us in particular.
Suburban moms.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. The suburban moms who always sway every election, but whatever. I am not going to go like dance with this when they inevitably come back around and then blame us when they lose in the midterms. It's like this, like, you know, like mind scramble of bullshit where it's like, I'm going to crap all over you and I'm going to be horrible to you and say all this nasty stuff and say you're the problem and then scream when people like you, and I don't mean literally us, but the people like us decide to maybe stay home in the next election because they don't want to vote for someone who cozies up to neo-Nazis. And I'm just like, they think they're so smart and clever and we're all just going to like sit back and take it and like be like, you know, just like hit all the time. And we're like, just going to be like, oh, okay, like we'll do whatever. Not this time. I'm telling you, and if this means that Democrats are going to win, it is not, we are not the ones starting the infighting. We are not the ones throwing the grenades. We're the ones just having a backbone and not going to be treated like, you know, I don't know, like, you know.
Well, we won't be gaslit by our own side.
Yeah.
It is
Nazi,
a time
Nazi
for choosing.
sympathizers.
There will be a
Yes.
time. This is a time for choosing. And I mean, look, on the racism and sexism and anti-Semitism that goes on, that Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson are a perfect example of, that, no, we don't do that.
Yeah. No, we don't. And we're not going to do that. And I'm not going to do that. And also, last final thing before we like get off this topic, there's a lot of white supremacists who aren't white now.
Yeah. What is that?
Hey, you know, we're a melting pot here.
Self-hatred. Go to therapy.
It's so weird. It's too much crazy, even for me. Christine,
call your
we have
mother.
to
My God, that's insane.
Also, get off the internet.
Yes.
You're talking to bots from
I endorse that
Pakistan.
message.
Yes,
Get off
be
the
like
internet.
Christine. No
Yeah,
more
be
social
like
media
Christine.
for you. You're grounded from Twitter. It's out. It's out.
You
They're all
guys
they're all from Russia. They're giving you bad ideas. Stop it.
You guys can listen to Christine's amazing podcast, the Commentary Podcast, that is daily. You guys are so good. I listen to it every single day. It really is fantastic. And I was sad to see Matt go, but I'm very happy to see Eliana come on. It's like a very, very popular podcast. And can people get your work at the American Enterprise Institute? Like, I never really know how to promote that for you.
Yes, I have a scholar page where everything I write and do is posted by my lovely research assistant, Alex Hibbs. But it's if you go to aei.org and look under scholars, there's like, you know, this long list. So you can find me.
I love AEI.
Scholar, my friend, the
Scholars.
scholar. You're so serious. Christine, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope I see you before Christmas.
Thank
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Okay, really quick, you guys, we have another amazing advertiser. This
Another
one
ad.
is a new one. So I and Miranda, and actually everyone who works on the show, because I work with women, we love good shapewear and we love good bras, just like every other woman, because that's the base of where you start to make sure your clothes look good. That's why we're so excited to partner with Honey Love, which has these amazing bras and undergarments that are, I don't like being uncomfortable at any point. You can hold it up.
Okay.
I don't like being uncomfortable in my life in general. I'm too old. I'm 41. Like, I like feeling like I can wear shapewear and bras that I can live in, that I can like go, walk, sit, host the show, whatever. And it doesn't feel so binding. And they have the most wonderful bras. I just got one recently, and the fabric is so soft, and it's like a light strap, and it
soft.
doesn't hurt it's not digging into you the way some bras do. It's not digging into your back, not digging into your shoulder. I know holiday season is here right now and everybody wants to look good underneath their dresses. Tell me about the shapewear. I can't wear the shapewear right
Okay.
now because I'm
got a
all
baby
8
in
months
there.
pregnant, but I can wear
Yes.
the beautiful bras. Go
So
ahead.
the bras are, go away. I'm almost done. So the bras are great because they don't have this underwire. So it's like not like digging into your ribs, which is fabulous. It's like wearing a sports bra, but it's super supportive. And let me tell you about the shapewear. Okay. So it's got this like fabulous boning, and I don't know, you guys can't see it, but okay. It's got this fabulous boning, which means it's not going to roll down. You don't have to be like doing the
My
awkward,
problem
like,
with Spanx is they start falling. Yeah.
exactly. The second you put it on, it starts rolling down after it like stretches out a little bit. So this stuff, I know you can't really see it, but it's like really structured. It's not going to roll down, and you don't have to like wiggle around and do that awkward dance. And also, okay, so this is the best part. It's super breathable, you guys. It's got like, I'm not showing it off right, but it's got these like air areas. And so it's not going to make you all like sweaty or like sticky or gross. And so you're going to
And
be
Spanx
comfortable.
can feel like scuba gear sometimes, where it's like you're not
Exactly.
moving and it's so tight, particularly when it's hot. But
Mhm.
these are,
And it
like I
makes
said,
it easy
much
to,
more
like,
comfortable.
take off and TMI, like take off to go to the bathroom, easy to put back on, and you're not like, again, doing the wiggle dance. So I highly recommend it. The bra is so comfortable. I fell asleep in it. Like, that's how easy it is to wear, because it's so comfortable. And you know, I can't recommend it enough. And they're just good price points, and the colors are really cute. They've got like any color you can think of. I got the one in fig. It's like this really like sexy purple one. I like it a lot. So
I got it in black. And again, we're so grateful. Obviously, holiday shopping is coming up. So if you want to give the gift of Honey Love to yourself or someone else, nothing says the holidays like support, comfort, and confidence. There are undie bundles that make the perfect stocking stuffer. I love an undie bundle. I really do.
love
You can
it.
like get them all at once. Yeah. So that's a good one. And just For knowledge, I love supporting women-owned businesses. Honey Love is an independent female-founded brand, and all Honey Love products are intelligently designed by women who actually wear them, like us. Like, we're living a real life. We have to work, we have kids, we have stuff to do. I can't look like, I can't wear like uncomfortable clothes. I have long days every day, just like you. We have to wear comfortable bras. We just do. So we have a promo code for you. Very exciting. So treat yourself or someone you love to Honey Love this holiday season. Right now you can save 20%. That's such a good discount at honeylove.com/McCain. Just use our exclusive link, honeylove.com/McCain, to grab your discount. After your order, they'll ask where you heard about Honey Love. So please support our show and let them know we sent you. For here from Citizen McCain, and celebrate this season feeling confident and comfortable with Honey Love. And all the men watching, this is a great gift for the women in your life. And it doesn't have to be like romantic. Like, you can get, everybody loves a good bra and panties and
cute bra
underwear.
set.
Yeah. So again, like, wonderful men and women, like, this is a great idea for holiday shopping and just great in general. And like I said, I really appreciate the material and the fact that it's like, I really have a hard time with bras like hurting me, which sounds weird, but like, I don't like it when it's too tight, and I really don't like it when straps dig into my skin, because I get like a line when I come home, and Honey Love does not do that.
When they make the bands around too small, like,
yes,
the worst. And then you get like the back fat thing. Ugh, I hate that. So these
Me
ones are
too.
like, they're wide, they're soft, they're comfortable. I cannot say enough good things about it. And also the name is really cute. Honey Love. How cute is
Yes.
that? Like, I love
Yes.
that. We should have named our podcast that. It's so cute.
We should have named it Honey Love.
It's already taken. So
we just want to thank our partners at Honey Love, and like I said, use that promo code McCain for 20% off. It's a big discount. Like, I love it. That's like a legit
That's like an
discount.
employee
So
discount. Hey,
yeah. So thank you guys so much, and thank you for listening and getting on that discount. And like I said, thank you so much to Honey Love and Cozy Earth and Quince for these amazing advertisers that have partnered with us. We're so lucky and so blessed, and
that's what we're
so
thankful
excited to
for.
be partnered with you. Yeah, what am I thankful for this year? Our wonderful advertisers. I'm legitimately very thankful for them.
I'm so sad we didn't get to the Cash Patel story. I really wanted to do that. Oh well, it's fine.
All right. So thank you so much. And again, honeylove.com/McCain. Okay. Really quick, we are going to move on to our next guest really quick. We have our friend Ryan Manion here. Ryan is the CEO of the Travis Manion Foundation and the author of the new book, Things My Brother Used to Say. You can find her on X and Instagram at @rmanion. Ryan, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
We just wanted to start out really quick. This is a season of giving and being thankful, but it's also, the holidays can be intense and painful, especially for people who have lost loved ones, especially for people who have lost loved ones in combat, like you have and your family has gone through. Would you mind giving some advice to people that are maybe feeling not excited about the holidays coming up? And I think it's just can be a complicated time for veterans and their families.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I know. So my brother Travis left for his second deployment the day after Christmas. And, so it definitely, in the beginning, I'm 18 years out from that loss, but in the beginning, it was really tough to think about entering into the holidays and the fact that he had left for that deployment then. And frankly, there's this cliche about that empty seat at the table, but it's true. And you feel that loss. And I think you feel it more during the holidays. And, for me, I have been someone that's leaned into tradition and being celebratory during the holidays and remembering them in that way. I've always kind of moved forward after my brother's loss and my mom's loss in the idea that, I want to live lives worthy of their sacrifice, of their, they passed away, but they certainly wouldn't want me or my family or my kids to not be moving forward and being joyful. And so I know that's much easier said than done, but like I've adopted new traditions, and I think that's something you can really lean into when losing someone. Like I have a tree now that it's a little tree that I keep in my lower level, and it's got Marine Corps ornaments and gold stars, and like it's Travis's tree, right? And so we all know that's Uncle Travis's tree. And I think you can do that for anyone you've lost, like a loved one. Like find a piece of them that you can still bring in and shows up as you're trying to celebrate the holidays. And I think the other thing is like be patient with yourself. Like it's okay to not feel the magic of every holiday. Like there are some years where I'm just not feeling it. I have to, of course, fake it a little bit for my kids, because I want everything to feel magical for them. But I'm also very patient with myself if I'm not feeling in that joyous mood around the holidays, to just be kind to myself and say it's okay. And so I think that perhaps is the best advice I can give, is like, don't run away from the feelings that you're feeling. They're natural, they're normal. And I think a lot of people are feeling loss around the same time. Like we're all feeling that. I'm sure you feel that with your dad, you know? So I don't know. I think it's mixed emotions as we miss our loved ones during the holidays, but especially with kids, like you want to continue to make it magical for them. And so I try to show up and do that every day.
Could you tell a little bit about your organization, the Ryan Manion Foundation, and what you guys do?
Travis Manion Foundation. Yeah.
Travis, I'm sorry, my
That's
notes
okay.
are wrong.
That's okay. Yeah.
Your name's Ryan.
Yes. So we, our organization was founded after the death of my brother, First Lieutenant Travis Manion. He was killed in Iraq on his second deployment there. And my mom started the organization, and really my family, I say my family, my dad and I saw it as like a way for a grieving mother to channel her grief into something positive. And so we never really saw it as more than a small memorial fund that would operate in the Philadelphia area. And I was not involved in the foundation in the beginning. It was kind of my mom's passion project, and she threw herself into it. And she really started to create something extraordinary, because she started to look and identify gaps within the veteran service world. And so I'm very quick to say that I hopped on the bandwagon when I was like, oh, something's happening here. This is not just a scholarship fund. And I joined the organization in 2011. My mom passed from cancer 8 months later in 2012. And now today we're 18 years out from the creation of the Travis Manion Foundation, and we're one of the largest veteran service organizations in the country. And we are built upon this idea of community. So when veterans take off their uniform, we all know that, you know, we're dealing with a lot of mental health challenges for our military community. And the biggest denominator of that is because they feel isolated, they feel lost from their community, they feel a lack of purpose, a lack of being a part of something bigger than themselves. And that is what the Travis Manion Foundation gives back to our nation's veterans. And we do that in a lot of different ways. We've got close to 100 chapters across the country where we have veterans showing up as civic assets. And our kind of call to them is that you may have taken off the uniform, but our country still needs you to serve. And they're doing that in tremendous ways all across the country.
Yeah, it's really incredible. And the Travis Manion Foundation is, I mean, it's pretty huge, you know, like people, it's very well known. People really respect and appreciate all the incredible work that you do. One of my brothers was a former Marine and now is in the Army, because he got out of the Marines and decided he can't not be in the military, because that lasted 3 weeks. That's a whole other story. So that's really fun for everyone. I love him. He's been on the show, my brother Jimmy. He's deployed a bunch of times. I don't actually remember the amount. I think it's around 8 or 9. And he is the person that I go to in every crisis in my life, from like very like small things, like we had a roof problem at our house, and I was like, I need to call my brother and like see if he has any suggestions of what to do, to like very large things. And I think some of it comes from his experience in the military, because you learn such incredible leadership skills. And I always wish that people in like corporate America treated veterans like that more, because they have this skill set they learned in these intense situations that, like, respectfully, none of us have. Do you think that that's something that's maybe shifting in like corporate America and with people hiring veterans?
I mean, my experience is that there is an overwhelming, I think, let's look back 10 years ago. 10 years ago, people were afraid to hire veterans. They thought that every veteran had PTSD and they were going to be detrimental to their work environment. I think that narrative has really shifted. And I think Fortune 500 companies have done a tremendous job of doing, you know, lots of them. When you look at Goldman Sachs and Johnson & Johnson, a lot of these big companies have actually said, like, we want to hire veterans. And I think the rest of corporate America has followed suit because, like you said, they understand that veterans have these intangible skill sets that they're taught that we as civilians are lucky enough to learn from a great teacher or mentor, but like this is part of their job to learn what it means to be a leader, to learn what it means to serve others, to learn what it means to have courage. And so those skill sets, when you move them into a corporate world, you know, I always say when we're hiring at the Travis Manion Foundation, we've got over 100 employees now. I put veteran preferred, you know, when we put our applications out. I don't do that because I run a veteran service organization. I do that because I know first and foremost, if I'm hiring a veteran, I'm going to get those leadership qualities that you don't necessarily get when you're hiring a civilian. That's just the fact. And I see it each and every day. And I do believe that right now there is that stigma of every veteran has PTSD and is, you know, challenged with mental health afflictions. I think that is, I think that's waning a lot. And I think that's a good thing for sure.
Well, and respectfully, like I just read an article about a Gen Z employee who took 2 weeks off because they had a bad breakup. A veteran's not going to do that. And if we can get a veteran a great job, to your point with the PTSD, they can get health insurance where they can get counseling and therapy and so on. So, I mean, that's a win-win in all situations.
Well, yeah. And to that, you know, what's helped that is also destigmatizing mental health in the military community, where before, you know, no one wanted to talk about because they were afraid of being kicked out of the military, frankly, or not getting promoted if they shared that they were dealing with mental health challenges. Our service branches, and I'm biased, but most especially the Marine Corps, have done a tremendous job of like, you're not going to be penalized if you're dealing with something. We're going to help you and get you the resources that we need.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Ryan, can you tell us a little bit about your new book? It's very sweet. Things my brother used to say. It's a children's book.
Yeah, so, you know, I'd been toying around for a while with the idea of putting a children's book together because, like your brother Jimmy, Travis was the person I went to. We were 15 months apart. I was the older sibling, but I always said that he acted as the older sibling in our relationship, even from a very young age. And I started thinking to all of these lessons that he taught me growing up. And I thought, what a great way to put some of these lessons into a book and start, you know, teach the next generation what he taught me, in hopes that they could get a little piece of it and maybe start shaping what their character looks like into the future. And I'm really excited. You know, writing a children's book is very different from a adult book, and you know, the process was super fun. And, you know, one of the great things is that through the Travis Manion Foundation, one of our biggest initiatives is called Character Does Matter. And we actually train veterans to go out and deliver character education to our nation's youth. And so this is just another great way for them to have kind of a tangible item that they can walk into a younger group, because we mostly focus on high schools right now, but that kindergarten through 5th, 6th grade, and, you know, teach them about character. And, you know, I lean into a lot of the lessons that I talk about when I go out and talk to schools, but the biggest one being the 5 words that Travis said before he left for Iraq: if not me, then who? And, you know, what that means to me and how that can apply into our youth's lives.
It's beautiful. And it's a really great gift for the holidays, especially obviously for people who have young children. It's called Things My Brother Used to Say. I'm really happy for you. It's really beautiful. I'm reading it to my girls. And it's like, I love books like that are not to like talk shit, but people sometimes give us woke books or like books. I'm like, why would I read this to like somebody gave me one to read to girls. It was like about the democracy and the Constitution. I was like, she's 5. Like we'll get there. But like, this is like an age appropriate children's book, which I appreciate as well, with like valuable lessons she can actually use now. So thank you so much, Ryan. Is there anything else you want to say before we say goodbye? I really appreciate your time. You also have a wonderful podcast yourself, and you know, are very active on X and Instagram.
Yeah, no, well, again, I appreciate you giving a testimonial on the back cover of the book. So thank you. I actually realized you did a testimonial for The Knock at the Door too, the book I wrote in 2019.
It's
And
beautiful.
so
Yeah.
so thank you for
Sure.
just being an advocate for my books. And I think the one thing I'll leave you guys with this children's book, and I actually had a friend who is an Army veteran, and he said, he has two young nieces, and he said, this is an opportunity for me to teach my nieces a little bit more about my time in the military. And so I think it's a great way to introduce what military service means. And, we're very disconnected from that with less than 1% serving. So another great reason to pick up the book and share with our next generation. But thanks for all you do. And thanks for everything you do to help promote the work we do at the Travis Manion Foundation.
I love the Travis Manion Foundation, and I'm really grateful for all the stuff you guys do. And I love your podcast. And you can find Ryan on social media on X, Manion on X and Instagram. And I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And I hope to see you very soon, Ryan. Thank you so much.
Take care, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Ryan.
Bye. All right, you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. Eat lots of turkey, eat lots of cake if you are pie. And if you want, what does that say? Oh, I'm sorry. We have one more special treat before we go.
We do.
We have our douche and darling. I'm sorry.
We're doing it on a Monday.
Also eat pie, not cake. I'm sorry. I don't know where.
I wish we had
my
the picture
head
of the lady with the gravy and the kayak. We need
we need to put
maybe
that.
Ashley, if you could pull that up while we're doing
Ashley,
this,
Ashley, pull that the kayaking lady. That's me on Thanksgiving every year.
We'll do a send off with that lady because we love her.
We're going a little long today, guys, but
I hope,
a long
is
episode
is anybody even still here?
Is no one here? Did everybody pop off? Okay, everybody still. Thanks, guys. Okay. All right. Douche and darling of the week. So these are the people that are douchebag mean people to us and people who are lovely to us. Okay. So douchebag of the week is Marlene-HQ Tour.
Ooh.
Marlene-HQ, the number 2 ER on YouTube. Could care less about McCain. Glad she's off The View. You guys got to turn the page on The View. My God.
Get over The View. My God. How long ago was that? Yikes.
Like 4 years ago.
Sheesh,
not
we've
missed.
Had a whole ass child since then. Okay, keep going.
Not missed. Her points are valid. However, it's the messenger that's the issue. Entitled. This popped up while I was scrolling. I'm not interested in McCain or her self-righteous pearl clutching attitude. Well, it's kind of a backhanded compliment. You like the points I'm making, but you don't like it's coming out of my mouth.
She likes what you're saying, but she doesn't like how you're saying.
Happy Thanksgiving, Marlene. You don't have. No one's asking you to click on anything.
Crappy Thanksgiving, Marlene. There we go.
Crappy Thanksgiving. You guys got to turn the page on The View. I have a long time. Turn the page. Our darling is Caitlin O'Brien on Instagram. Spent the morning catching up on the podcast. Thank you for giving voice to all the independent, non-MAGA conservatives out there. We exist and we vote. That's right. Preach, Caitlin. Congratulations on your advertisers. Thank you so much and look forward to the next episode. Thank you so much, Caitlin O'Brien. That's so sweet. Hello, little lady. And we have Miranda's daughter here. You want to say happy Thanksgiving, everybody?
She can't hear you. Say happy Thanksgiving. Say it. Yeah. No.
It's okay. A little camera shy. That's all right. Really quick before we go, Ashley's got it. All right. Happy Thanksgiving, you guys. I send this to all my friends. That's me. That's a live look at me.
That's Auntie Megan.
Thursday.
Do you see that?
That's
that
me. See me in my kayak.
Megan going down the gravy mountain.
Yep. That's what I look like on Thanksgiving. I'm literally kayaking through gravy and mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
That's silly, me. Right?
Yeah.
I look like that, except pregnant.
Doesn't that look exactly like her?
Happy Thanksgiving, you guys. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
We will see you next week. Actually, we still have a show. It's just a tape show. Okay.
Yes,
bye.
It's a very great interview. Watch it. Bye.